What is going on, everybody? My name is Boyd and I am back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the bottom of the map in the blue color playing as Odin. His name is Skady. His opponent today in the red color playing as Oranos. His name is Moore. It's currently 1-1 in this best of 5 series for the third, fourth place match of the Voobly Champions League. What a time to be alive. What era we live in that we can sit here and watch the best players in the world play an old game and really, really enjoy it because they play so well. Like, they're so good. Anyways, we just saw Oranos v Oranos on Alpine go the very strong way of Moore. Now we're going to be seeing Odin versus Oranos on Frozen Wastes. Now, if you've listened to any of the top players talking about this matchup, a lot of them suggest that Odin is the strong, heavy favorite on the High Hunt open maps, such as Frozen Wastes. It's very, very interesting. But this is more we're talking about. Probably one of the only Oranos players truly innovating with Oranos, coming up with some different ideas to play the game with Oranos. Because when it comes down to it, Oranos, because of the way that Oranos is made, you really don't have a lot of variation you can do. Because you only have 3 villages, or you effectively have 3 villages inside of one, you can't put 1 village of food, 1 village of wood, 1 village of gold. You have to go all the food with that villager, you know? So there's not a lot of variation. And then on top of that, you also have the Murmillo, which is, the classical units of Oranos, which is like Murmillo, Terma, Caraballister, and Catapultes. And of those 3, the only really strong unit is the Murmillo. So you have to mix in, and then the second strongest unit is the Terma. So you kind of have to go Murmillo, Terma, or Terma, with Oranos every single game. But we do see more coming up with some really interesting ideas, such as last game, cutting those citizen, spamming, going 4 minutes and spamming out villages. I wouldn't be surprised to see something similar here as a counter to the early Oranos or the early Odin game. So getting out those early Murmillo may help him out here. We are seeing him go for what looks to be a 4-minute advance time here. He's got the goat over here and he's going to be eating that one. And he may be going for like the 3:55, the perfect advance time here. So we will see how this works for more. Now, the standard meta for Odin on this matchup is to advance fairly fast. You want to go up the very latest 420, and you want to go double longhouse and get you basically make like 8 Ulfsark or something. You send them to the forward hunt, harass that for a little bit, get Lone Wanderer out, get medium infantry out, and at that stage, your Ulfsark start really winning the fights against the Oranos army. But if Moore gets out enough early Murmillo, it may not work out as well as you might think. And then with those early Murmillo, you can assert some map dominance and prevent the hunt from being gathered, because this is such an open map. If Moore can get some sort of advantage early here, you can deny this hunt, which means you're denying Ulfsark. And while there are quite a few goats here, 8 goats, you still need those early hunts to be able to make those Ulfsark reliably. We are seeing the Ravens out now for Skady. We've got the Prometheus coming in, and this is looking like it's more like a 4-minute advance time than a 3:55, a perfect one. So a little bit slow there for Moore, but totally fine. If we check out his villages here, he's got 3 on wood, 1 on gold, and 2 on food. We do see the Ulfsarks coming in, and there's the Valor going to be pushing these ones back, gets his hero Oracle there, military barracks, counter barracks here, and we do see a villager coming out. So I'm not sure if he cut villages after just 1 being built or after 2 being built. I think he cut it after 1 being built. So we'll see if he does something similar. It is the military barracks, counter barracks here for Moore. And now we've got the longhouses coming up. We've got 2 Hersa out for Skady. Freya's the god of choice, obviously. Sometimes you see Heimdall here, but probably not, because the Valkyrie does so much for the Odin, though the Einherjar can help out with some very early pressure onto a location such as this here. And we do see this. Someone in chat just said Temple in the range of FF. That is Shadowfax. Very true. Forest Fire can get some value here, but maybe not worth it. I do prefer to save my my forest fire to either breach a location that's walled off really easily, or trap an army on the forest fire, because it does mean that they have to like retreat and not fight there or something like that. It can be very, very good in that regard. We have seen a lot of people wasting forest fires with Odin, and there's the Golf Sark out. No Lone Wanderer. We are seeing some throwing axemen coming out here as he's not pushing forward. We got the Murmillo out. We still see villagers getting pumped out for more, so no delay there. If we check out the population, though, I can't type. It's 45 to 50, so still very, very close. Though Skady does have a little bit of an advantage here. We have the Valkyrie searching around, looking for something to hit. Got some of those Murmillo back, and now the units moving in. Do we see some technologies? We do not see some technologies. The big forest fire here onto the counter barracks. Huge mistake from Moore. The term are popping out, but they are fast enough with a 5.5 speed to retreat away from the Offsuck. The Murmillo coming in here. Villagers getting pulled over onto the trees. We may see some of those villagers getting brought back here. Now the units onto those Terma are going to be able to snipe so many of them that do so much damage to the Terma. And now the Ulfsark are just completely shredding through this Oranos army, and Moore has to retreat here. Huge force. Skady picking off that counter barracks. You even see some throwing axemen coming in as well. Those villagers will be able to get away from here. Skady still does not have the Lone Wanderer upgrade or anything else. Throwing out another longhouse as it's looking like Skady is just going for the jugular here. Instead of the standard Odin play, third Longhouse means no Lone Wanderer for even longer. However, he did pick off both the counter barracks and the military barracks, so he doesn't even have to worry about Terma getting spammed out because there's no counter barracks for them. There's the watchtowers, though. However, watchtowers with Atlantean not as good as the other civilizations because there's no walls around them. There's no houses that you can put around them, and we do see the Ulfsark moving in. Will spot the watchtower, and Skady can just rush this down. He's got so many Ulfsark here. Do we see anything? We do not see any upgrades just yet for the Ulfsark. Still no upgrades for Moore. No military buildings down for Moore either. The wall is up, still hasn't thrown it down. There's the counter barracks going up, trying to secure this gold mine here. Looking like Skady going to be trading away. He can just move around this side, take down this wall, go after this gold mine, throwing down the second military barracks here and the second counter barracks that he's had. Skady is just so far in front, and there's a hole in this wall. There is a hole in this wall. This Ulfsark snuck in, but it doesn't matter because Skady is going to tear this down, and he's going to be hitting this gold mine so very, very strongly. Here you can see he destroyed the entire wall there. There is still this tower in the back, though. The throwing axeman can deal a lot of damage. We'll just do have to get pulled off that one. We'll see if the Raven gets moved onto this gold mine just to make sure that it doesn't get taken there. We see the heavy infantry or medium infantry has come through. Still no Lone Wanderer, but it still doesn't matter. We've got some Carabals coming out for more as he's going to be holding on to this with Cairo Ballester is kind of his only option here. If he can just sit in this position, keep mining gold, get those Cairo Ballester out. That's exactly what Skady wants to see, though, because it means he can do whatever he wants here without any threats of being raided. Meanwhile, he's just happily hunting here with the worst Ox Caravan placement you've ever seen. But it doesn't matter because he's just so far in front, throwing up more manners for more. We've got 74 population to 97, and Skady's going to be looking to go to the next stage here. If he can get Skady here, he is Skady. If he can go through the God Skady, get access to Frost Giants, he's going to be in a really, really good position. There's the armory coming down. And not only that, this map is such a strong Ragnarok map. And the reason for that is because you know where all the gold mines are. They're really hard to secure with towers and walls. And you can just rag, and then you can just one town center rag even, and just gold starve, and there's next to nothing that an Oranos player can do against it. It's really hard to defend against any sort of Ragnarok. We even see Skady cutting villagers here. Looks like he's really trying to get up. He probably should have just built a dwarf there, but it is what it is. Bringing villagers back to his home base here, not risking the walrus for some reason. A little bit peculiar, but it is what it is. How close is he? Oh, God, 728. What's he doing? Very, very confused. Still trying to make his way to the next stage. A little bit of a mistake there from Skady, I must admit, without building any villages. There it is. There's the heroic age on the way now for Skady. And he's just going to sit in his base here. He's got enough goat to get... Oh, does he? He's got enough food in his base to get to the next stage. I wouldn't have minded him... minded in fighting or like going for that hunt there. Still hasn't got Lone Wanderer just yet. And this just makes me... This is just tickling my fancy just a little bit more, or tickling my fancy just a little bit more here, about the idea that Thor is potentially just as strong as Odin here, if not stronger, because you could also mix in armory upgrades here. Go for Skady. You could make an argument that Thor could probably do exactly the same thing that Skady's doing right now. Just saying. But then again, the Forest Fire was very, very key in this advantage that Skady has grasped here. But Moore is making a big comeback here, while Skady is looking to try and surround these units here. There's so many Murmillo, and Skady, he could just frost this and kill this entire army, be super far in front, and then from there, market in Mythic Age, we do see a lot of these units taking a lot of damage here. These are not Odin units. They do not get regen, and a lot of these units not going to die, but they're going to be very low HP. Meanwhile, we're seeing this raid still going on, and we do have some Karabalas over here. Spot the Raven. Walls coming up on this location. Skady can make his way over onto this gold mine straight away if he wants to, but I'm not sure he fully understands where the gold mines are just yet. He does know that there's not one gathering from here. He should know that there's nothing there, so the only real option for Skady is, or for more to get gold, is going to be this gold mine over here. We see these Ulfsarks still chasing in. The Karabalas are going to send them back. Nice micro from Skady to pull back in time to dodge all of those Karabalista arrows there, as more is pulling back here. The throwing axeman dealing a lot of damage, but still no fighting just yet, as Skady just super far in front. Do we see a market for Skady? Not just yet. Has a Frost Giant plus a Hersa over here. Not doing anything. We've got the Ulfsark moving into this location. The units, 4 more coming in. Is he going through to the next stage? He is going through Hyperion. That's a greedy town center right there for Skady. Frost coming in onto this location. Hits most of the units. Does get one Karabalista back there. And the Ulfsark hitting these villages here. Will we see Skady attempting to pick them off? He should just go for it. There's the Hyperion. Chaos coming in, going to hit that Valkyrie. Town center going to attempt to go up, causing a little bit of an issue here with that Chaos, but the Frost Giant still alive, still has a random Hersa. They're still pumping some units, getting the heavy infantry out. What do we see for more? No upgrades just yet. The heavy infantry is going to be very, very key for Skady as this town center is going up. There's a shockwave there, but not going to do all too much. Town center still going to be completely fine here for Skady. He needs to surround these units now and get maximum value out of fighting underneath the town center fire. We even see some Contarius coming out here for more. There's the heavy infantry. Both of these longhouses forward now for Skady. More going to be turning around and attempting to fight this one, but Skady, a little bit of a pickle here. He's kind of throwing his advantage just a little bit, even though he has the town center here. Still forcing more back off of this gold mine with these Ulfsark over here, and Skady does retreat. We've got 98 population for Skady to 113 population for more. As all these units are targeting this down, we do finally see that Frost Giant making his way in. Skady should be building these on loop, which he is doing, but he just hasn't made that many of them just yet. Now the Frost Giants can counter the Satyr very, very well. We've got idle villagers over here that are trying to fight, and we do see the Frost Giant come in, pick off this Valkyrie, pick off everything else. Very difficult unit to deal with for Oranos here. So we'll see how that goes. And he should just pick off this gate area. It's a very obnoxious wall that Moore's thrown up. It'll get killed very, very fast within 500 HP and 44% hack armor. And there we go, taking that wall down. Going to move in onto these villages, which should be retreating away from this location, but still hasn't done so. Karabalas are coming around the back. There's no real answer. Well, I mean, the Frost Giants are a big answer to the Karabalas, to be honest. You just kind of run them forward, and then they automatically start tanking the damage from the Karabalas. They do very little damage to the Frost Giants that have 69% pierce armor, but not happening just yet. We've got some Murmillo raids coming in now. Going to be looking to hit Skady's base here. Do we see a market? Do we see any attempted next stage? We do not for Skady just yet. He's going to be looking for something to pick off over here. Not going for it just yet. We've even got a couple of Ulfsark on this gold mine. This is the only gold mine that Moore's got access to. I would still love to just see the Frost Giants just walk in here. Those Hero Contarius are very, very scary. And can we see him just use the special? Yes. Picking off a couple of Karabalas here is absolutely key here. It's a low HP one. Now the all start coming around the back, going to be attempting to get onto those Carabalis. They still don't have Lone Wanderer, as Skady just completely does not care about Lone Wanderer at all. He's just like, yeah, it's not that important. And more in that moment does tap out, and Skady puts the revenge kind of easy in here. He makes a typo. Feels bad, man. And Skady takes this game up now 2-1. A really, really nice play here. I think more if he hadn't had that that counter barracks on the forest there, would have been possibly a different story here. I don't know if it would have mattered or not, but I think more would have been able to fight a little bit longer. He wouldn't have had to pop out his Terma. He could have waited a little bit longer on that one. And he may have been able to defend against that early game, but because he lost it all, he was so far behind, he just couldn't catch up in the end. Anyways, well played to Skady, up 2-1. We'll move on to game number 4. Game number 4, very, very shortly. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you are enjoying these games, please consider hitting the follow button on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTubes, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next game.